Welcome to another episode of Business Talk with Sathish Sampath. Okay, today we are going to talk about something very interesting. You are a startup and you have just started your company. Maybe your company is less than a year old. You are now put in a position where you have to decide what is that you have to spend and where you have to save your money. And this topic is something very important because at this current juncture, we all have experienced how much it is important for saving money. Last 3 months taught us a very good lesson. Okay, so uh, from today, we are going to see a very different format where, it's going to be point wise, very specific, and more or less like something which you can take it forward and straight away implement. Okay, basically, just to add something forward, there are two types of startups. One is that, startups who have a bit of cash and they have some kind of a reserve, as we call it. The others are purely the bootstrap kind of a version where they just start with a laptop and in their garage or in their bedroom. Okay, so one of the things which they would be very much thinking about is that, where should startups be very careful in their spending during the first couple of years? Okay, that is very, very key. During the first couple of years, what is important is that the survival is important. More than that, your perseverance, your attitude towards complete, dedicated hard work, and your focus, that is important. So to do that, you should also have a complete control on your finance. Finance, as everybody calls as vitamin F, is very, very important for all stages of business. There is other side of it. Where you have to save is the first side. The other side is that where you should not mind spending, or you should spend without any compromise. Okay, so just to repeat this, what we are going to have a discussion is that we are going to discuss two things. One is where startups should be extremely careful in their spend, and where they should be spending without compromise. Okay, so let us start with the first one. Where should they actually, you know, uh, uh, save? Okay, so if at all we have to probably work through what we are working on, this is pretty straightforward. This 3 months have actually taught us that the expensive office and all kind of fixed assets, all kind of the lucrative items that we have bundled in our offices, these are not going to help us if you're a startup. Okay, you're not going to expect a large volume of visitors, or the visitors who are going to expect you in a completely different way. So try to capitalize on that and try to keep your startup cost as low as possible. Okay, and when I say expensive office or any fixed asset, I'm also meaning, wherever it requires, try to cut down your cost. If it means that you may have to probably uh, stop your transportation for your employees, you may have to think on that. Is it really needed for all times, or is it really needed only when the employees are working overtime, something like that. Okay, the main part is that your HR, try to handle things, like as much as possible, try to handle it on your own. Okay, so if things are possible, I would probably say that try to shuffle your resources as much as possible. Okay, hire only when it is required. Okay, or try to do as much as multitasking as possible with single resources. However you want to put it, the message is very clear. Okay, try to keep your cost as low as possible is the message. Your ancillary teams, like support staff, housekeeping, or maybe some kind of an assistorial team or secretarial team. Try to outsource as much as possible. Try to keep the core team. If at all you're a software company, keep the design team, UI team, development team, and rest of the teams. Is it possible for you to take, say, outsource help? Try to work on that angle. The other point is, try to stop buying very costly CRM, very costly accounting software for raising an invoice, or like attendance system with too much of biometric, like CCTV and other things. Like try to cut down all the costs. Like because the startup 1 or 2 years, you can control it through your offline mode itself, unless you're going to go for a blick scaling mode where the inflow of money is also going to go high. So it is very easy for you to upgrade it to a much better version. And on the other hand, try to keep the organization communication as simple as possible. Okay. When I say as simple as possible, uh, take for example WhatsApp. Is WhatsApp enough for you to make sure a collaboration can work out, or Telegram is enough for you to make a collaboration work out? If that is possible, try to keep it in that way, rather than like going in for a collaborative tool with a monthly cost and things like that. Like if at all you need some kind of a video conferencing tool, try to keep it in your budget, or try to make sure, why don't you use Google Hangouts, like why don't you use something else, which can give you the same thing free of cost. Okay. So try to find another alternative for all the things that you are paying today, or you have decided to pay. Okay, this will help you, keep a very good working capital balance. And working capital is very, very important for running a business. Working capital will include all your salaries, all your incidental expenses, all your, like monthly expenses, all your external expense, like license costs, software costs, like all those, like team handling costs, etc. So wherever it is possible, try to save it. Wherever it is possible, try to cut short it, make it zero, so that like money not spent is money saved. Keep this in mind: money not spent is money saved. Okay, this is something. Keep it as a benchmark line for the first couple of years. So if I'm saying that, okay, like make sure that you're saving it on all the other things, where should you spend without compromise? Okay, the first thing is spend it on technology. Because if you're actually a person who is going to work from home, try to work on your project with the most updated system as much possible. Whether it is going to be a laptop, or whether it is going to be your system, or whether it is going to be your IDE, or whether it is going to be what kind of a software that you're going to use, the configuration, the camera, or communication. Like if at all you're working on some kind of a video-based activities, like if something is very, very, very necessary, if that is the heart of your project, don't don't hesitate to spend on that. The second part, this is something which I keep telling all the startups. They always say that, okay, I am still not ready, so there is no need, I have to go for marketing. So do not consider marketing as a very high cost. Marketing can be done by yourself, and it is best to start. It is best you start doing the marketing by yourself. Brand presence, social media, like the basic social media presence, the basic corporate identities. I still know a lot of companies where they do not own a website, they do not own a digital presence, they do not own a social media, presence. They do not even have a corporate email ID. They use something like Gmail, they use something like Yahoo, things like that. Think twice. Is it really necessary for you to cut down that cost? Email is not going to cost you much of money, but it is going to give you an extraordinary boost in confidence if somebody is trying to email you. Okay. The other part, networking. Do not compromise on networking. In today's context, networking has become digital. Okay. But in if after COVID, obviously in a couple of months time, it is going to get, everything is going to get liberated. People are going to come out, the networking is going to start. If you have decided to start a business, okay, I tell everybody, be shameless. Okay, or on the contrary, be extremely proud about your business. Go and tell everybody in the world, where whoever you meet, about your business. Don't shy away. Okay, the first thing is, don't be an introvert. Okay, just go, speak to them, Whether your business is a $1 company or it's a $1 billion company, you are the boss. Okay, feel proud of it. Do not shy away from business meetings. Do not shy away from conferences. Spend for conferences, because that's exactly where you will get your benchmarking, you will get your milestone. People will tell you where the industry is going. People will tell who are the industry stalwarts. Okay, people will say, yeah, like tell whom you can follow, like what kind of a benchmarking that you can do. When is that your product will be ready? You can even bring few people as your mentor. And that's my next point. Do not try to solve, do not try to go the business your own way. Try to get an advisor, try to get a consultant from your own field. There is a separate video which I have done on mentorship. I'll provide you the link below, which you can also see on that. But advisor, consultant, mentor, according to me, will is really, really required if you are a first generation startup entrepreneur, if you do not have somebody who can support you from day one. Another part is, if you're deciding to recruit, there is a very bad references which is going on right now, because like they wanted resources on their own budget. Okay, it is better to have an extremely good resource with a very good salary than multiple resources who are bad or moderate with a cheap salary. Okay, what is going to happen if you are going to just give a salary and then the output is not going to come? Okay, it is really necessary that you need to have extremely good candidate, because this candidate is going to be your nervous system for the first couple of years. He is going to work not only one man job, he's going to work multitasking. He's going to extend as much as possible, you are going to extend as much as possible. So this is extremely important. And finally, and last but not the least, communication support is extremely important. See, from the day one, you have decided that you are going to come into this world as a startup. Okay, from day one, the communication strategy has to be planned properly by an expert or yourself. Okay, saying that what are all the stages in which you're going to tell the external world about you, your company, your product, etc. And what kind of a language are you going to use for that? Is it going to be something on a passive neutral, or is it going to be neutral, or is it going to be aggressive positive, or is it going to be aggressive negative tactics? There are a lot of communication strategy which is available, which you can even Google and find out, which you can understand, and then you can implement it. But it is very important that you have to implement it from day one. Okay, if you are a techie guy, or if you are a functional guy, if you are not able to understand on how to deal with the communication, things like that, it is not expensive. Okay, getting an advisor, getting a mentor, getting a coach is not expensive. It should not be expensive, because try to go on to people who can understand your business, understand your position. Okay, not only position when it comes to a startup, but also position when it comes to your spending limit. Okay, there are a lot of people available. There are a lot of organizations which are available on a national basis, on a regional basis. Try to find out, and then like if possible, like you will actually land up with the perfect person. So I hope this video will exactly give you an idea, or if you're a startup owner, startup founder, on where exactly you should spend your money and where exactly you should save your money. If you like this video and if you like our channel, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, support our cause, and I see you in the next video. Thank you.